Okay, in this video we're going to talk about percent increase or percent markup, but we're going to talk about it as it relates to finding a new amount or finding a retail price. So basically what you have to realize here is percent increase and percent markup are exactly the same thing, okay? And we did talk about this in another video, so if you didn't see that video, you need to take a look at that first. But in this video we're going to talk about percent increase and then what do you do to find the new amount after the increase, or percent markup and what do you do to find the retail price after the percent markup. So these two things are the same. So let's look at this, how the question might be asked. So these two are essentially the same question. What is the retail price after a percent markup? What is the new amount after a percent increase? And you might see two different questions just like these questions are, but they just please try and remember that these things are basically, we're doing the same operations to solve them. So percent markup, percent increase, we said they mean the same, and finding the retail price after a markup, a percent increase, is the same as finding the new amount after a percent increase, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay. So let's talk about one example. Find the retail price of a $16 shirt after a 140% markup. So you go into the store and you see a shirt that's $16, and there's, actually before you get to the store, there's a shirt that's $16 and they're going to mark it up by 140%, right? So what's important here? This is important, the fact that the shirt is $16. This is really important, the fact that they're marking it up 140%. So here's the plan. You multiply the 140% times the 16 to figure out what that markup is. And then you're going to, and now we did that in the last video, and then this time you're going to add to find, and this is the other important part of this, the retail price. That's what we're looking for. So we're not looking for the amount of the markup, we're actually looking for the new price after the markup is added. So you're going to multiply to find the markup and then you're going to add. So let's just try and do this as an example right here. So you have the price is 16 and the percent markup is 140%. Well, we know from the past that we have to change this percent to a decimal always. So we go 2 places to the left there. And what we're going to end up using, oh, that's a little sloppy, sorry. What we're going to end up using is 1.4 as our decimal. Okay, so then we're going to just take 16 times 1.4, and we're going to do that multiplication here. That's a 4, carry the 2, that's 64, 0, 6, 1, that's 4, 12, 1, 2, and then we have 1 decimal over. So we have 22.4. 22.4 is actually just our markup. That's what we did in that first step. We found just the markup. Now what do we have to do? We have to go ahead and add that to the original price. Well, we know the original, I'm going to put the decimals in too. The original price is right here. It was $16, right? We said we're going to add this 140%, which we just found out was $22.40, right? If we were to write this in to look like dollars and cents, it would be $22.40. So we're going to add those two together to get our new retail price of $38.40. So this is our answer. That is the retail price. So really it's simple, logical, you just have to think about it. You have the price, there's an 140% markup, change it to a decimal, multiply, you get the markup here. After multiplying, you get the markup, but you're not done. Now you have to do step number 2, which is taking that markup and adding it to the original price to get your retail price, and that is your final answer right here. Okay, so this is the final answer. Okay, let's try another one that might be worded a little bit differently, but it's basically the same operations, the same rules as the last one. Okay, so the problem says there were 7 people at my party last year, but this year there was a 60% increase. How many people are at my party? So after the increase is what we're talking about. So what's important here? Well, 60% increase, we know that's another way of saying like a markup. It's the same sort of operation. And also 7 people. 7 people were at my party this year. There's a 60% increase. How many people are at my party right now? Well, it's the same thing. We're going to multiply. This is our plan. We're going to multiply for the increase, and then we're just going to add the 60% to it, to the original number of 7. So let's talk about this percent though. We do need to start from the right and move 2 places over and put our decimal there. So this 60% turns into 0.6. So we can go ahead and do that multiplication really simply. So we have 7 is the original amount times 0.6. Well, we know 7 times 6 is 42, but we do have to put our decimal there. So now our increase, after we multiply, we just get the increase, right? So our increase is 4.2. Well, we're now going to add 4.2 to the original price. So not the price, the original amount, sorry, which is 7, right? We had 7 people. We had 4.2 increased compared to 7. So we have 7. And if there was a decimal there, it would be on the right side, right? And plus 4.2. You add it up. And since we're talking about people, you would round this, right? So according to this, there were 11.2 people at my party, but again, we're going to round that, and we're going to say 11 people were at my party this year, are at my party this year, okay? Which is a small party, so that's a little sad for me, but it was a small intimate group, so that's okay. All right, so 7 people, 60% increase, 7 times 0.6, you got 4.2 is the amount of the increase, okay? This is not a percent anymore. This is the amount of the increase, and you're just going to add that to the original amount. You get a new amount, 11.2. Because we're talking about people, we just round it to 11. So that's it. I would definitely replay these. There are so many examples like this in your text. If you want some more help, please come see me. But practice, practice. This is a really big topic and important one for you to know. Okay.